All right, Shalom Akim, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, it's your brother Kanak, and I'm coming to you with a quick video. This is on the move. Pretty much, I got a letter in the mail, a letter in the mail for pre-approval for pretty much a loan, which that's no big deal, right? So I open up the letter, and I start just reading through, it's an offer, it has my name on it and all that, from this company called Landmark, which I didn't take any heed to it, right? But I start reading down, Esau, and we know Esau is the devil, which is the so-called white man, right? And he makes, that's why I have Isaiah the 10th chapter. I'm gonna hit some scriptures. So I want you to take a look at this letter that I got, and just proving that the so-called white man, all right, Esau, he's a devil, man. All right. So let's take a look at it real quick, and then I'm gonna hit some scriptures real quick. So this is the pre-approval letter, right? So you come down here, it says, you're approved from either $26,000 to $8,000, right? You start just going through it. Oh man, Jake, he's down and out. So something like this coming in, you already pre-approved, at least get $2,600. You're like, damn, man, this might take me out of the hump that I'm in, so I could pay a couple of bills or, get something that I always wanted, So at the same time, you got to read the fine print, all right? So here's what Esau, quick, convenient online application, clear terms, no hidden fees, no early or additional payment penalties, no loan restrictions, right? So you start coming down, and this is the point right here. What kind of loans does Landmark offer? Landmark offers unsecured personal loans, also known as a signature loans, or installment loans between 79 to 100% APR. Generally, unsecured personal loans do not require borrowers to provide collateral. Qualified applicants will repay their loan in equal installments, including principal and interest. And it's the point right here, man. 79 to 100% APR, man, interest. All right, this is the so-called white man. All right, Esau charging interest. All right, 79% to 150%. So average what? 110%, at least 100% interest. Meaning, if for every dollar that they loan you, you have to pay back $1, right? So say you go to your friend and you ask him, can I borrow $1,000? He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna let you borrow $1,000, but you got to give me $1,000. So when you come back to me, all right, you have to give me $2,000. All right, that's an unrighteous decree. So let me go right into the scripture. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Yeah, that's right, because who's the fatherless, all right? Who are the widows? It's talking about Israel, all right? And this is an unrighteous decree, man. 79% to 150% APR, okay? That's wickedness. That's wickedness proven. Esau, all right, he's the devil, man. Here it is, our people are down and out, all right, can barely take care of themselves because of social engineering, all right. Esau, he created society to where you hit a plateau. You hit a plateau as far as how much money or how far you can go in this society without selling out. And then even then, all right, if they want you, even if they have to want you, all right. And that's why Jake, he right now, he just goes into just straight worshiping Satan, man. All right. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. All right, and this is unrighteous decree according to the scripture. All right, according to the scripture, you're not supposed to lend money to your brother. All right, well, it wasn't Esau Jacob's brother. All right, you Edomites try to come up, and say a whore not an Edomite, or we're brothers. All right, you guys know the history. You know the history about Jacob and Esau. So what you just did right here, man, that's an unrighteous decree. That's wicked according to the scriptures. All right, and we're gonna get the law on it. All right. So here's the law. It's in Deuteronomy 23 and 19. All right. It says, "Thou shalt not lend upon usury. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother. Usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury." All right. "Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury." So basically, Esau is saying that we're a stranger. He's the head nation. He's the children of God. All right, and he's able to lend upon usury, okay, against Jacob. All right, against you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. All right, which proves Esau doesn't count you as a equal. All right, because you're not going to go into these high-end Edomite neighborhoods. All right, and get a loan between 79, pretty much 80 to 150% APR, all right, which is pretty much usury interest, what you would call interest today. And I have pretty good credit, all right? I have excellent credit, all right? And this is just a total ripoff, but they know that Jake doesn't have access to capital, all right? Because the so-called white man, how are they able to get all these businesses started? How are they able to have all this capital, all right, to stop their so-called main job and focus in on creating wealth, all right? Because they're able to get loans. They're able to get loans at a very low wage, all right? Esau doesn't even do this to what? They don't even do this to the other nations. Now look, check it out. When you look at this card right here, what do you see? A so-called Negro, man, an Israelite, all right? So this is definitely targeted towards you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, all right? All right, because Esau, he has a drop on you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, he knows all the information. He knows your credit score. All right, he knows how much you're paying in rent. All right, and he knows that he'll look at your bank account. All right, oh yeah, let's get a sucker. All right, so here it is. If I get $8,000, man, if they can literally hit me with 100%. 150% APR, man. All right, I'll have to pay back like 10 to 12,000, more than that. I'll have to pay back what, 16, like 20, almost, god damn, 20, 24, 20,000, probably about like $22,000 back. All right, about $22,000 back if I get about 8,000. Man, that's wickedness, man. That's wickedness. Let me go back to the scripture. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy power may bless thee in all that thou settest thy hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it. That's right. As an Israelite, all right, if a brother needs money, all right, or anything, you know, and you lend it to him, all right, you're not supposed to lend upon usury. You're not supposed to say, oh well, hey, look, after this date, okay, I'm gonna start recurring interest. Meaning, if I give you, $200, here it is, Jake is down and out. He needs $200 to cover his rent, and then you tell him, hey, look, if I give you $200, I'm gonna need $275 back. All right, and then if you don't give it to me at a certain time, I'm gonna need $300 back. $300 back. All right, that's wicked. You're not supposed to do that towards your brother. All right, but you can do that towards these heathens. All right, and we're gonna do that in the kingdom of heaven. All right, we're gonna lend upon usury. All right. We're gonna get these other nations. They want to build a town. They want to open up a business. Well, they want to come to Israel, all right. And then we're gonna charge their ass 4, 5, 6,000%, all right. And pretty much make them a peonage, a slave, all right, a bondage slave. And that's exactly what Esau has done to our people, all right. Let me get this scripture. Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. All right. Esau and Jacob were brothers. All right. This is violence, man. All right. This is violence. To charge at an interest rate of 80 to 150%. Okay. How's that even doable, man? How are you able to make money off of that? The only way you can make money off of that is if you go fucking buy a kilo worth of cocaine. All right, and you get a hood startup, man. That's what these so-called mafias and gang members and loan sharks do, man. Charge at this ridiculous amount of interest. All right, in an unsecured loan, basically you don't have to use any collateral. All right, the lender is like, okay, well, I see that you have a okay credit score. All right, I'm going to lend you this money on the pretense that you're going to be able to pay me back. All right, that's what the credit score is used for. That's what Esau uses for, right? Credit worthiness, so to speak. All right, so it's unsecured. So then, man, Jake can't pay this shit back, man. This is bullshit. All right, but this is an unrighteous decree from the so-called white man. This is violence against our people. All right, because this puts them further into slavery, man. This puts them further into slavery. Okay, I think I have one more scripture. Okay, yeah, this is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Yeah, that's right, man. The borrower is servant to the lender. So Lendmart, which you probably go into the history of Lendmart, is a bunch of so-called Jews. All right, you ain't no Negroes. There's no Negro. This is not a Negro, so to speak, company or a so-called Latino backed company or Native American backed company. This is utterly ridiculous. And then they have the audacity to put a nigga woman on the front page. All right, and she's smiling. She about to get some money, get charged 10,000% interest, man. All right, you so-called white people, you going into slavery. All right, this is another reason why your ass is going into slavery. All right, for unrighteous decrees, like Isaiah the 10th chapter says. All right, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. And you know what? The American government allows this bullshit. All right, the American government allows this bullshit. Let me just get the definition of usury, right? So usury is on the online etymology dictionary. Usury, practice of lending money at interest, later at excessive rates of interest. At excessive rates of interest, all right? 80 to 150% interest. And then Esau, APR, he tries to put these play on words. So Jake doesn't really know what APR means, which means annual percentage rate. All right, that's the rate that they're going to charge you on the money that they lend you. All right. Excess rates later. Let me read it again. Later at excess rates of interest. All right. Payment for the use of money. Interest, literally a usage, use, enjoyment. Right. It's pretty much, like I said earlier, for every dollar, right? Right. So say you 10% interest. If I lend you $1, you're gonna have to pay me back 10 cents. All right. All right, because 10% of $1 over 100, it will be 10 cents. So if I lend at 100%, that means if I give you $1, I'm gonna need another dollar in return. All right, that's just unprecedented. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. And the so-called white man, he doesn't get loans like that. All right, he gets at a low interest rate, maybe 4%, 4 or 5%. All right. And what the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, well, they're getting just totally raped. All right, and this is why. Let me get one more scripture. This is why Jake, this is why Jake is pretty much in a low estate. This is Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put them into a bag with holes. All right, that's the epitome of an Israelite here in America and throughout the whole world. All right, these other nations take advantage of us, and pretty much we're not comfortable in this society because this society was not built for us. All right, it was built for Esau primarily, and then the other nations, because they pretty much buy into the system America, all right, and go 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 headlong. You know, they go all force. You know, full force. All right, you black and Hispanics that don't do that, you get taken advantage. And even if you do, all right, you're still a proverb, you're still a byword, you're still taken advantage of, all right, by the devil and other nations that come into your neighborhoods. All right, open up different check cashing, right, give you payday loans. All right, when these so-called car lots where they charge at a high interest rate when they put you on a so-called installment plan. This is the work of the so-called white man, all right, Esau. All right. So with that, I hope it was edifying. All right. Hope this video was edifying. You know, it's a quick video, and I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai once again. Double honors to my apostle and elders, the great millstone, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.